私に任せなさい。つまらないわね。まだ体も温まってないわ。 私の演奏に聞き惚れたかしら。纵然在我的小小心就无数。Music ready go。纵然在这个广阔宇宙无数绚烂之事路过，你如泼墨点点渗透进人的眼眸。空白的心，慢慢填充，揣摩形容这感受，也许未找到了出口。想按下发送，却在犹豫的那条消息，删除又重新编辑，再点上一个可爱表情，忐忑的等待手机传来几无的回应，爱上他也会为我加油打气。关于我喜欢你的这道问题，有没有答案可以来参考练习？精心准备了月光秘籍，提前在模拟前做次练习，明天就要来临。纵然在我的小小心就无数风景，只是看过你如飓风，毫无防备卷起漩涡，平静的心有了波动，一步一步为你坠落，曾经我自在漂流，无目的的走。纵然在这广阔宇宙无数绚烂之事路过，你如泼墨点点渗透进人我眼眸。空白的心慢慢填充，怎么形容这感受，也许未找到了出口。纵然在我的小小心跳，无数风景，只是看过你如飓风，毫无防备卷起漩涡，别记得心有了波动，一步一步为你坠落，曾经我自在漂流，无目的的走。纵然在这广阔宇宙无数绚烂之事路过，你如泼墨点点渗透进人我眼眸。空白的心慢慢填充，揣摩形容这感受，也许未找到了出口。つまらないわね。まだ体も温まってないわ。Music ready go。
まだ体も温まってこの程度なのね。
纵然在我的想上的
Music. Ready, go.
上来吧，说我微风，追着那个黄色气球浮上夜空，是向日外甜蜜宇宙，向着光我寻找着我，我想。
私の演奏に聞き惚れたかしら。
New song.
私の演奏に聞き惚れたかしら。
小月在阴晴中燥热不寒，心跳的马和树叶飞短，带你距离逼近，我就会加速过弯。马达的轰鸣升温了这夜晚，规则要被打破才有趣，推进漂移，不能把这主导占据，热情的倾诉，游戏里第一杆位，被我逆行占据，为你防御我独行，我喜鹊很爱突破所有的境界线。为了幸运，我透明，最高向我献殷勤。
心臓を入れつ超現実的衝動マインド接続の心まで浸透快楽爪を割ると見起こそうがしつちなど見つかりしないの心の心臓までさっとしていこう指の指先がさっともしかるほど指をさす感じを暗面力の感想一つしたて飲めば飲むほどリタイアなんて述べきやしないと最後にエキサイト君だからの救済など確かな手を折りかすべき伝統は精神の加速度毒になったよさびびた何をさもいだよその道の以上何も知らずにたがりつつののとろ周りのあなたがいいは聞こえてるのよ言わなくてもいい場所手のは楽しむけど犯罪よそんなのしてるのよだから現実で友人でも毒をめきする心から揺さぶりをもっと真相なす役にあったよしこまで落ちても
私の演奏に聞き惚れたかしら。
Evie? What are you doing? Did you find something? Oh, is it playfish?
Doon na ho, dami yo. Ay, iyo.
はいどうぞ柔らかいうちに
ありがとうございました、おじさん。また来ます。Hey, baby. I got some mochi. Alright, shall we go? Alright. Hey guys, every time I go to America, I get to try a new type of vegan burger, and I find them absolutely delicious. So today, I want to try and make it on myself. It's definitely a different experience from both normal beef burgers and the vegan burgers I've had. The homemade buns are mochi mochi, and the tofu meat texture is like chicken. It tastes great, and it's pretty healthy. So if you get a chance, please give it a try. First, I'm gonna prepare the buns. Mix flour, salt, yeast, and water in a bowl. And knead it into dough. Let the dough rest for a few minutes. Then knead the dough until the surface becomes smooth and soft. Let it rest for about an hour at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. Next, I'm gonna prepare the tofu meat. Cut firm tofu into chunks. Put it and water back into the container and freeze it. Defrost the tofu and squeeze it. It becomes like a sponge. You can just use pre-made soy meat instead to skip this step. Take out the dough and press it down to squeeze the gas out of it. Cut the dough into 5 to 6 pieces and shape them into bowls. Let them rest for about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to let the tofu pieces soak in soy sauce with garlic powder. Next, place the dough in round baking molds. If you don't have molds like this, you can just use aluminum foil and shape it. Coat the inside of the molds with olive oil. Press the dough down and then let it rest for about an hour at 30 to 35 degrees Celsius. When the dough rises, coat it with olive oil and sprinkle some sesame seeds. Bake it for 15 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius. Next, coat the tofu with potato starch and deep fry it at 160 degrees Celsius for a few minutes. Now I'm gonna make imitation cheese out of mochi. You can use any texture of mochi because we're just going to melt it anyway. Chop the mochi into small pieces. Mix with soy milk and melt it on low heat. Blend cashew nuts into a powder. Add it, agar powder, and potato starch in a bowl and mix them well. Then mix with the mochi. Sprinkle some salt, lemon juice, and mustard. I added a yellow food coloring to try to match the image of a stereotypical cheeseburger, but you can skip this step. Next, I'm gonna make tofu mayonnaise. Blend soft tofu, olive oil, honey mustard, salt, and dill weed. Slice the buns in half. Prepare any ingredients you like for the burger. I have tomatoes, avocado, lettuce, red onion, pickles, soy meat, mochi cheese, and tofu mayo. The soy meat has a salty flavor, so I recommend adding vegetables that are refreshing and light, or citrus and sour to balance the flavors. Itadakimasu. This is actually really good. The soy meat actually, like the texture is really close to actual chicken or like, you know, the meat. Well, I'm gonna end up eating the rest of it. Thank you for watching. See you guys later. Bye. Hey guys, so I made a ramen video a few years ago, but this time I want to put more effort and time into making it better. Ramen is one of the most popular Japanese fast foods, although it's not fast to cook. This recipe took me 2 days to make, but it was definitely worth it. It's probably hard to get all the ingredients I use for this recipe if you're not living in Japan, but you can easily make some of the delicious toppings I made, so please give it a try. Alright, let's start cooking. Let's make toppings first. I'm gonna start with pork. Rub in salt to season. Then, slowly sear the outside of the pork. Now let's make the sauce for the pork and boiled eggs. Get the green part of the green onion, a few slices of ginger, and crush the garlic. Add sake, mirin, soy sauce, sugar, salt in a pot, and heat it up on low heat. Turn off the burner before it boils. Now, wrap the pork with a paper towel and put everything in a Ziploc bag. Then, get rid of the air inside the bag. Using a bowl of water makes this process easy. Then place it in a rice cooker and add boiled water. Press the keep warm button and it'll be done cooking in about 3 to 4 hours. Then, keep it in a fridge for half a day. Now let's make half-boiled eggs. Making a tiny hole at the bottom of the eggs prevents it from cracking. Boil the eggs for 6 minutes and a half. Take the eggs out and cool them down. When they're cooled down, get rid of the shells. If you have a container like this, put the egg in, cover them with water, and shake it. Place the eggs in Tupperware and add equal parts water and sauce. Then cover it with a paper towel and keep it in the fridge for half a day as well. When the pork is done, slice it as thin or as thick as you want. Now let's make the soup. Prepare the soup stock like this. Next, add green onion, ginger slices, chicken bones and wings in boiled water, and boil them for a minute to get rid of smell. Place them in cold water and chop the bones into chunks. Put the bones and chicken wings in a pot and cook it on very low heat for an hour. Let's make clam soup at the same time. Before cooking the clams, get rid of sand in the clams by adding 3% salt water and wait for half a day. Boil the clams with sake and kondu for 30 minutes on low heat. Skim off scum while boiling. Cut off the skin of chicken and fry it on low heat until it becomes crispy. I'll use chicken noodle for the soup and chicken skin for the topping later. Let's make another topping. This time I'll use the white part of green onion. Cut off the core and slice it thinly. Soak it in water for 5 minutes. Now let's blend all the soup. The blend ratio is completely up to you. For example, if you want the soup to be a little more fishy, then add more bonito stock. You can see my ratio in the description box, but you can adjust however you want and make your own soup. When the soup is done, add soy sauce with kombu and chicken oil and ramen bowl first. Let's prepare toppings. Scorch the pork slices. Cut the egg in half. Pour soup in the bowl. Finally, boil the noodle. Strain it well. And finish. This is so good. I guess so.
One of the greatest illusions in life is continuity. 66 million years ago, the continuity of the dinosaurs had been going on for around 165 million years already, and it didn't seem this would change anytime soon. The world was warm and pleasant, and most of the land was covered with lush forests and an incredible diversity of trees, flowers, ferns, and trillions of critters. Dinosaurs were ubiquitous and had diversified into hundreds of species of all shapes and sizes. Titanosaurs, large, gentle giants, shared the world with famous beasts like Tyrannosaurus rex or Edmontosaurus. Pectinodon hunted in the undergrowth, while Edmontosaurus wandered coastlines and swamps. An ancient paradise, a world of plenty, full of life. 66 million years ago, maybe on a Tuesday afternoon, life was the same as it had been the day before, or 1,000 years before, or pretty much 1,000,000 years before. Things were good for our feathered dinosaur buddies, until a tiny, tiny detail in the sky changed. If there were dinosaurs watching the stars, one night they may have noticed the appearance of a new star, a tiny dot that for many weeks slowly became bigger and brighter. Until one fateful day, it looked like another small moon in the night sky. And then it faded from sight as it dipped into Earth's shadow. For a few more hours, the illusion of continuity was upheld, until it was not anymore. In the morning, the object suddenly appears again, now almost as large as the sun in the sky and growing every moment, heading for the coast near the Yucatan Peninsula. It takes the asteroid only seconds to pass through the thin layer between space and the ground to make contact, as it enters the atmosphere at almost 60 times the speed of sound. Let's stop time. Here, we see the unnamed asteroid about to commit speciescide. Larger than Mount Everest, it reaches from the ocean high into the atmosphere, higher than passenger planes would fly millions of years later. At this moment, the world was one way. In a fraction of a second, it would be fundamentally different. Let's make the transition. As the asteroid hits the shallow ocean and the bedrock below, the energy of billions of nuclear weapons is released all at once as the asteroid vaporizes. A flash of light illuminates the sky as an eerie bright white sphere grows over the Gulf of Mexico. Bedrock melts into seething hot plasma at tens of thousands of degrees Celsius. The thermal radiation from the explosion travels at the speed of light and immediately burns everything within a radius of about 1,500 kilometers, while the energy from the impact pushes so hard against Earth's crust that it loses all strength and flows away from the impact site like a liquid, creating a hole 25 kilometers deep and 100 kilometers wide. The ocean is pushed back for hundreds of kilometers, like when a kid jumps into a puddle. As the crust bounces back, melted and flowing crust forms a temporary mountain stretching 10 kilometers into the sky. An incredible amount of material is blasted into the higher atmosphere or even out into space, as much as 60 times the original mass of the asteroid. The violence of the strike is felt everywhere on Earth within minutes. A magnitude 11 earthquake may be the most powerful quake any living thing has ever witnessed in billions of years. It is so insanely strong that in India it might have shaken gigantic lava fields and causes volcanic eruptions that would last for 30,000 years and cover half of the Indian subcontinent with lava. Even on the side of Earth opposite the impact, the ground still moved by several meters. Nobody would sleep through this day. The gigantic explosion crashes against the atmosphere with unprecedented violence and causes a shockwave that reaches speeds of more than 1,000 kilometers per hour near the site of impact, similar to the hyperhurricanes on gas giants like Neptune. In Middle America, basically any soil, vegetation, or animal is just shredded into pieces and catapulted thousands of kilometers away. Now, the previously displaced oceans return. As the temporary mountain at the site of impact collapses, a ring of tsunamis as high as 1 kilometer, enough to cover all skyscrapers humans would ever build, heads in all directions. As they crash into the coasts of the continents surrounding the impact, they will drown thousands of kilometers of coastline. 15 hours later, some of the waves that get refracted around South America will still tower as much as 100 meters into the sky. But we still haven't talked about the worst thing yet. A lot of the debris yeeted into space will orbit Earth for thousands of years. Some may hit the Moon or even Mars. But most of it comes right back. When things fall through the atmosphere at such speeds, they get very hot, as in hundreds of degrees hot. And this happens to millions of tons of material everywhere. This rapidly heats up the atmosphere to insane temperatures. We don't know exactly how hot it got or how long this heat shock lasted, but there are two ideas here. Either the air was heated to hundreds of degrees for a few minutes, or to thousands of degrees for around 1 minute. In any case, the air became as hot as the inside of an industrial oven. How bad the global effects of this were is contested, but if enough heat reached the surface, a lot of plants and animals would have died very quickly if they couldn't bury themselves or escape into caves. The heat, together with raining debris, also may have ignited material on forest floors and sparked wildfires as the Earth rotated under the searing hot plume. In a few hours, massive wildfires were probably burning around the globe. Some of them may have lasted for months and turned Earth into a horrifying, hot, hellish version of itself. As the day of the impact draws to an end, many of the dinosaurs are already dead, but the worst is still to come. The gigantic plume of vaporized material reaches the upper atmosphere and spreads around the whole globe. Together with the soot from the burning planet and the aerosols generated at impact, the planet sinks into a deep darkness, with only the remaining raging fires illuminating the scenery. Whatever plants survive the firestorms will now be starved for sunlight as global photosynthesis is temporarily shut down. Within days, temperatures crash as much as 25 degrees Celsius. The oceans were especially hard hit. The lack of sunlight killed over 90% of plankton, which form the basis of the food web of marine life. Ultimately, this would kill off the large marine reptiles and ammonites that used to dominate the seas. The biosphere the survivors now find themselves in is like an alien landscape. Ash, debris, and the burned remains of the formerly lush and blooming life cover the ground. The sky is dark and it's cold, and fresh food is scarce, while fungi thrive. For months and years, the planet will be a hostile and deadly place. The sudden global winter will last for decades. At least 75% of all species on Earth will just vanish from existence. And so, as the day ends, the world is suddenly different. The continuity that went on for millions of years is no more. The era of the dinosaurs is over, just like that. Eventually, from the ashes of the old world, survivors emerged. Birds that are the direct descendants of the dinosaurs and mammals that would eventually become the dominant animals on the planet. Without the asteroid, who knows what life on Earth would look like today? Without the sudden disruption of dinosaur continuity that completely changed the planet and all life on it, we might have never had the opportunity to become what we are today. It's not clear how long the human era will last. So far, modern humans have been around for 0.1% of the time the dinosaurs were. And in this short amount of time, we've achieved impressive feats, from making the world our own to reaching space and splitting the atom. Yet our future and our long-term survival are not a given. If we're not careful, it could end in an instant, like the age of the dinosaurs ended.